Okay, good morning, everybody. My name's Karen Nelson. Because of this new camera thing we have for all our Zoom meetings, you're not seeing me that up close. You see more of the auditorium here at the association. And I want to welcome you to the MLS class. And I see that some of you have already said that you were attending in the chat. So if you're online, please go in the chat so that Angie can go in and mark that you did take this class, since it is required by the board of directors. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to share my screen. I am the MLS coordinator here at the association. I have been here now for about 24 and a half years. So, and I've always been the MLS coordinator. So if you've had trouble or if you needed help already, you probably have talked to me. I'm very knowledgeable about the MLS system. The only problem I have is I'm not that tech savvy. So if there's something that's real techy, I might turn you over to Mark, our CEO. He is very tech savvy. So right now I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. The MLS. Get this out of the way here. I wonder if I can minimize that. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to show you is, because normally during the class, I would when we were doing it in person, we haven't done it in person probably for over a year now. So, and as of right now, we do not know when we're going to do it in person, because right now our board of directors will only allow 20 people in our auditorium, and that is it. And since the end of last year, we've been getting so many new members. I have not had a class under 60 attendees since we began all these new members. So I can tell you right now that my MLS class will not be in person for a while, I don't think. So the first thing normally I would hand out these handouts regarding MLS fines and different policies that the MLS committee asked me to hand out to you. So we have them online now. So I'm going to show you where you can go to get them. They're actually right here on the MLS. So if you come over to where it says MLS support site, you're just going to click on that. That's going to open another screen. And then scroll down. And then here's the information regarding coming soon, clear cooperation, and the MLS rules and fines. So this is what I would normally hand out. The MLS rules and fines, if you click on it, will list all the different rules and all the different things that you can, that are violations that can get you a fine, such as wrong photo as the primary photo. If you have contact information in the public remarks section is one of them. The wrong parcel ID, stuff like that. And they range from $25 all the way up to $1,000. Okay, now coming soon, I just want to point out, I'll go over the coming soon a little bit more when I go to show you how to do a listing. But coming soon, you can put it in the MLS system as coming soon. However, because of the NAR's clear cooperation rule, you cannot advertise it. You cannot put a sign out. You can't put it on social media. You can't put it anywhere out there at all. And that's partially because of the clear cooperation rule, which the National Association of Realtors made that rule back in November 2019. They did not give anybody the option of opting out of doing this rule. Every association had to adopt it. And what it is if once you start advertising a property, whether it be flyers, a sign, social media, email blast, anything like that at all to advertise it, you must have the listing in the MLS within 1 business day. And they gave everybody, all the associations, the option of what they were going to charge for the fine, up to $5,000. Our board of directors and MLS committee made our fine for that $500. Now, a lot of the other associations around the area we've heard are higher than ours. I know Flagler starts at 1,000. I think Orlando starts at 1,000 or 1,500. So we're actually one of the lower ones in the area. because all the other ones started higher up than us for this fine. Like I said, the National Association left it up to the associations to come up with our fine up to 5,000. I have not heard of anybody going as high as 5,000. I think most of them start at about 1,000. Another thing I want to point out is that the MLS Committee and Board of Directors created a new rule, and it's under the Mls Rules and Fines over here recently, because people were sharing other agents' listings on their own social media pages. They were advertising them. You're not allowed to do that either, unless you have the permission of the listing agent and the listing broker. If they give you the okay to go ahead and advertise their listing and put it on maybe your page or something, you're allowed to do that, but only if you have their permission. If you do not have their permission, you're not allowed to do that. And it came about because one of the bigger companies had a $2 million listing, and an agent from another company put it on their social media site, and everybody thought it was that person's listing. And that is why that they're not allowed to do this any longer. So with that, I'm going to go back to the MLS. Get on this screen. I'm going to show you where you can go to get help for the MLS system. Like I said, you can always call me. I work here at the association. I'm here 8 to 5, Monday through Friday. So you can always call me or email me any questions or anything that you need help with. I'll be glad to help you. I get them all the time where I walk people through stuff. So feel free to call me if you need to. But there's two places that you can get help. One is guided help right here, and here is the other help. So if you go to guided help, you'll see how to get started in Flex, listing searches, and you just click on them and it opens up to more different information. And they give you a lot of very basic stuff that you can really very easily to understand. And before I get going further, this is a basic class. That is what the board of directors asked me to teach. It's just the main basics. So some of the stuff is probably a little bit mundane, but this is what they've asked me to teach. We are working on some videos and some like 1 hour classes, more advanced for like getting more into CMAs or statistics, deeper into searches, things like that. So as soon as we come up with some of them classes, we will be sending information out to let the members know. We do a thing called Flex Camp. This would be our sixth year doing it. And when we were doing it in person, we were doing it at Daytona State College's Advanced Technology Center. And there were 6 different classes taught 6 different times. So you could attend all day and go to all 6 classes. Each class was 50 minutes long. They were on like CMA statistics, map searches, related searches, stuff like that. And it was actually taught by people from the MLS committee. Because I can teach you everything in the MLS. However, they came up with this because they can give you their little tips and tricks that they do as a realtor. So that's why they came up with this. And like I said, they usually have two people in each class teaching it. And so they're giving their perspective as to how to use certain things. So to help realtors get to know different ins and outs that other realtors use. Okay, we are planning to do it again this year. However, we do not know if we'll be able to do it in person or not. It's going to be probably sometime in October. Last year we did it via Zoom and we got pretty good attendance. So we're waiting to hear back from the Advanced Technology Center if they're allowing events right now. I reached out to them last week, but I have not heard back from them as of yet. So we won't know until we hear from them if we're going to be able to do it in person or through Zoom. But we'll let everybody know once we know something. Okay, so that's the one guided help. The other help is over here. This one actually has videos and the Flex MLS Academy, so you can see what's new, what's coming up. So you've got all this here. And then, like I said, there's the videos training. There are also webinars in the video training. This you can print out if you have different things that you want to print out. You got the create the full CMA. You got all everything that's in the MLS is right here. So you've got all these different things that you need help, that you can get help. There's more video training down here. The video training also has webinars on there. And normally when Flex is coming out with something new or they're updating the system or a portion of the system, they'll send out emails letting you know that there's a webinar coming up and you can register for it. After the live webinar, they always save them in here. So you can always go back if you weren't able to attend the webinar, and then it will be right there. So you can just go in there and watch it at your leisure. So that's the different help things. Now, there is the toolbar up here, and mine probably looks different than yours because you can make it any way you want. In the past, when you clicked on menu, we used to have all these categories up there like dashboard, add change. They were all up here on the toolbar. And then every time you had to want to do something, you had to click on it and go to the drop-down list. Well, over a year ago, they decided to make it more user-friendly because a lot of people only use certain things all the time. So, and you can put what you want up here on your toolbar. So all the ones that I have a yellow star next to it are the ones that I have up here on my toolbar. So say you realize you're not using the office member search all the time and you don't want it on your toolbar anymore, you could just unclick it. Yes, I really want to take it off my toolbar. So then it's no longer up here. So say you want the MLS number search up there. Oh, I'll add CMA. So I want to do CMAs all the time. So I'm going to add that to my toolbar at top. So the second you highlight the star, it's going to show up on your toolbar up here. So you can just go scroll through here and figure out what you utilize often and just go ahead and add it to your toolbar so you don't always have to come over here and click on menu. You can also put these in a certain order, any order that you want. Just click on reorder, and then you can just move them around to whatever way that you want them to go. So that's how you can create your own toolbar up here. There's also two dashboards. It's what I call home pages still sometimes, but you have the MLS one, and you should have a home one as well. So the MLS one is one that we created for our members here at the association. Things that we know that you would use a lot or could refer back to. So you've got my listings up here, and since I'm in as the board right now, I have all the listings that are in the MLS are on mine. But you'll see whatever you have on your own. So you have 5 active listings, they're going to show up here. You have pendings or contingents, they'll show, the number of them will show up here. You would just click on them. And then it will open up to those listings and you can take a look at them. Then, oops, how did I get to the home one? I don't want the home one, I want the MLS one. Then over here is where we have the MLS links. So you've got the links that I just showed you, the support site. We have links straight to Volusia and Flagler County property appraisers. This link goes to our website, which you may have taken a look at if you just joined. We probably directed you there to get the application. There's also other things on this website that for members, there's different forms on there. If you need forms, you can go into the Internet Member Services section of it and log in there. And you can pay your bills online. You can sign up for events and classes on there as well. Then we have the knowledge base, our knowledge base. You click on that. And then there's all kinds of information regarding advertising, contracts, all kinds of information on all the different items. So if you need to know something, it's all right here. And then we have the CID site, that's for commercial agents. So if you're a commercial agent, you might want to take a look at that. Here's the calendar of what's going on here at the association, and the newsletter, which is also mailed out to you every month. Realty TV was done by our leadership committee. If you click on that, they have different videos regarding about our committees, how to get involved. They're very short. They're about 2 to 3 minutes long at the most. So they've got different videos to help you out as a member and regarding different items. Then we got the RPR, which is part of the National Association's website, where you can go in through here. It's called Realtor Property Resources, and you can search properties in all the different states. And it'll tell you if they're being listed. They'll tell you. It's like going into the property appraiser site, almost something like that. But you can do CMAs in there. You can get information, a lot of information regarding the property. It will show you if it is listed, if it's not listed. So there's a lot of information on that. We do have classes on this. They're usually about an hour long. I don't know when the next one's coming up. I haven't seen one on the schedule recently. So if you're interested in that, just keep an eye out on it. And it's free for members to join. You would just go to National Associations and then click on RPR and sign up for it. Then we got the Condo Center that just gives you information regarding the different condos and what's selling, what's not selling. Somebody asked one time if we could put the condo docs on here, and the MLS committee decided against it only because of them changing often. Then there's also more information regarding condos here. List Hub is where your listings go to as a syndication, and they syndicate it out all over the place to all different websites. This is another link right to our internet member services, which I was recently just talking about. Then we got flood risk information here. This is for new realtors. So if you are a brand new realtor, you might want to take a look at this. It has all kinds of information regarding licensing law, the professional development, member benefits. So if you're brand new to real estate, you might want to take a look at all this information as well. And then this will let you know if you need permit information. And then this, and then if you just click on it, and he's got the way it's Mark has it, it's listed by city. So if you needed permit information regarding something, you would just click on the city and then type in the address of that particular property. So that, and then lastly, normally when we used to do this class in person, we always had a business partner that would come depending on what time the class was. If it was in the afternoon, they would bring like afternoon snacks or lunch sometimes. If it was in the morning, they would bring some stuff for breakfast, like bagels and stuff like that. And then they would have like 5 to 10 minutes to tell you what they offer our membership. And there's also, I teach this every month, but we only do orientation for new members every other month, which includes my class plus the ethics class. And how it used to be when it was in person was the ethics class would be in the morning. Then they would serve you lunch. It was like sometimes pizza, subs, stuff like that. And then 5 different business partners would get together and supply all the food for your lunch. And each one of them would tell you what they offer the members. Like I said, since we're doing everything through Zoom, that's not happening right now. So I just wanted to point out the business partner directory. These are all like mortgage companies, lenders, banks, inspectors that belong to the association. They pay to be a member here, and it's taken too long, so I'm not going to open it up all the way. So you might want to take a look at that so you can utilize some of the things. Okay, I saw that somebody had their hand up. Go ahead and unmute yourself, and what's your question? Don't see anything here. Okay, so then we got the inventory down here, save searches down here. This down here is actually from Flex themselves. They put stuff on here regarding different things. So you can take a look at that. Doesn't look like they've been, the last thing they put up with was back in April. So this is just basics that we feel that would help the members. Then here's the message board. If there's something new, like we just put on here, Flex as of May 31st will no longer support Internet Explorer. So you will not be able to use Internet Explorer for Flex after May 31st. And then the next page that we have is the home page. So this one you can create yourself. You can put whatever you want on there, whichever of these, I call them boxes, but they call them gadgets. So you got the different gadgets here. Like this one we got the hot sheet, save searches, my listings. So the way you can create this, you can remove them by clicking remove here. So I'm just going to remove the hot sheet. Yes, I'm sure I want to remove it. To add something, you would come over to customize. And then here's all the different gadgets. You just click on add gadget. And then here's all the different categories of gadgets that you can do. There's the contacts, daily, hot sheet, message board, forums, listings. So say you want to display listings on there, you would just click on it. A lot of these are already on my homepage here. News, search. Wow, there's a lot of things on this homepage. Statistics. So if you wanted to know the different statistics, you can put them on your homepage. Tracking, third party. So you've got all these different things that you can actually put on your homepage. Just, I wish I didn't have everything on there. Let's see here. Let me go back. I'll add the hot sheet back on. So you would just click on add gadget. So now when you return to the dashboard, the new gadget that you just added is going to be all the way at the bottom. So say if you want to move it up, you would just drag it to whatever position that you want it in and drop it there. So then, where'd it go? There it is. Went all the way up. So now it's all the way at the top. So that's how you can move them, all the different ones around to whatever way you want. Like I said, to remove them, you would just click on the three dots here, or you can even click on them here and remove them over here. So under my listings on your homepage, I get calls all the time for closed listings. And they'll say, oh, I closed a listing 2 months ago, and now all of a sudden it's not showing under my closed listings. It's because the settings for my listing section, Flex has it set for only going 30 days back as the default. And so to change that, you would come over here to these three dots, go to settings, and then you can go however many days back that you want. They also have the default set as 7 for the days to expire. So when it comes up here for the expired listings, it's not on here. You must have taken it off. But usually if the listings to expire. So 7 days prior to those listings expiring, they would show up on the list right here. Because right now there's 15 listings that are about to expire within 7 days. So then, so you'll see them of your own listings. Same with the closed listings, you would change that to go, I wish they would actually do months back instead of days back, because a lot of agents track their sales from January through December. But so I've got a lot of people that I know have said, yeah, I just went ahead and put it at 999. So it goes back as far as I wanted to, so I can see all my closed listings all the time. So it's just up to you. You would just go in there, click on the three dots, hit settings, change these to whatever you want, and then hit save. and then it would go that far back. Now, since I'm in as the association, I don't have this one field that you will have, and it's my listings. It would say my listings or office listings. So if you can change it so it shows all your office listings if you want it under that. And so instead of saying my listings up here, it will say office listings. I don't have that field right here because I am in as the association. Right now I'm logged in, but you will have that. So if you want to see just your listings, you can just leave it that way. Or if you want to change it to my office listings. So when you come here, it'll say my office listings, and then you'll see all the active listings for your office, all the pending listings for your office. I know a lot of admins do that so they can keep track of the agent's listings for them. So that's one thing that you can change there. Then, like I said, I got my saved searches here, my email sent here. So you can just play around with this and pick and choose what of the gadgets that you want to put on your homepage. You can also create another homepage or another page for something else. Like we have market statistics on here, we have tracking, and then we have our own web dashboard here as well. So to be able to create your own, you would come to customize, go on your dashboards and click on add. Then there's some templates here. There's the classic, the home, contacts, home, market statistics, and it tells you each gadget that would be on that homepage if you wanted to do that. Or to create your own, you would just come here on your blank one, name it as whatever name that you want. I'm just going to name mine May, create dashboard, and then it brings you here. So I'm just going to pick a hot sheet. I'll pick save searches, my listings, and new search. And just click on return to dashboard. Now under my May, they're all in one line because now I need to drag them to whatever positions that I want. And you just drag and drop them. And then you've created your own dashboard. If after you've created it and you were using it for a while and you realize, hey, I'm not really using this dashboard anymore, you can actually go in here and delete it. Here. Where is the delete for this? Did they move it? They must have moved it on me again. Because it used to be right under customize, and now it's no longer here. Okay, I'll have to play with that later. So I'm going to go back to the MLS dashboard. So that's how you can create your own, how the different dashboards, the MLS dashboard is compared to the home dashboard. I've had people call up and say, yeah, so-and-so has this on their homepage and I don't. So that's because they created their own. And so then I have to walk them through on how to do it themselves. So now I'm going to go into quick searches. And this is a little bit harder to do now because on the map portion of it, because since we've dropped down below 1,000 active listings, all the dots are here. If it was still over 1,000, the dots would not be there right now. But inventory is very low. Like I said, I've been here over 24 years and I've never seen the listing inventory be this low ever. This is crazy what's going on out there. So trying to do map searches is a little bit tricky right now with all the green dots on there. So you've got your different categories here. These are all the different criterias. So I'm just going to do a basic search. And we have every city in the state of Florida on here. The top ones are the ones that our association covers, excluding New Smyrna, but we put New Smyrna up here with them because they're so close to us. And if you're thinking, why is New Smyrna by themselves? Believe me, so are we. We've tried to get them to merge with us over the years. I don't know how many times. And for some reason, New Smyrna will not merge with us. And they just want to stay separate from everybody else. So that's just unfortunately how it is. So I'm going to pick Ormond Beach. Hold down. And then subdivisions and condo names. We have every subdivision in our area as well as condos. We do have some of them that are out of the area. And because the list was getting so long, the MLS committee decided years ago that if it's not in our area that we actually cover, they'll no longer put any new developments or condos in the list. So if it's a listing in Flagler that you have, or maybe New Smyrna or DeLand or somewhere, and you're putting in our MLS, and the condo name is not in there, or the subdivision name is not on there, you're just gonna have to pick not on the list, because unfortunately they will not add it any longer. If it is in our area, yes, they will add it, but that is all. The easiest way to add a subdivision to your listing or your search, open it up. Don't type in this line until after you've clicked into the list. Once you start that, then you can start typing, and then it will take you to wherever you're looking for. So I just type in, I got breakaway trails up here, and it's because I just started typing breakaway and it pops up. So that's the easiest way, but you gotta make sure you put your cursor into this section here, the same with the condo names. Down here. And the way bath total works is the combination between total or full baths and half baths. So say you have a house that's two baths, 2 full baths and 1 half bath. The total number, the way Flex works, would be 3, not 2.5. I'm not sure why, but that's just how Flex works. So I'm gonna put bedrooms. I'll put 3 to 4 bedrooms in here. And style, I'll put single family. Down to 2 listings, and that's it. So when you want to look at your listings, come up here and click on View Results. And then there's 2 lists that you can look at. You've got this one-liner list, or you have the list with the photos. So you can click on the list with the photos, and then you have these, you can see more of the listings, more of the information regarding the listing. To see the whole listing, you would just click on the MLS number. It pops up over here. If you want to see more detail, you can click on this little triangle up here. That will close that, and you got the full screen display right here. Now, if you come up here under reports, these are all the different display reports that we have. There's a lot of them. I suggest you just take a look at them, figure out which ones you actually like, and use them all the time. So you've got all these different ones. Mine is the DAB full. Let me look at this listing real quick. No. Oh, yes. Perfect. Okay. See where it says more here? Because when you're entering a listing, and I'll go into more detail on it when we're entering a listing in a little while, is the first section of the remarks is only 800 characters, and that's due to IDX feeds that it goes out. They'll only pull about 800 characters. So if you add more remarks under the supplement section, you'll have the word more here. So you can click on that and you'll see the rest of the remarks here. You will also see supplement up here as well. So you can click on that to see the rest of the remarks. And there is also under reports, if you want to print them out, because if you just do the DAB full or some other display, it will not print the full remarks. So you would have to come down here and click on detailed display full remarks. It leaves a few other fields off, but you will have all the remarks together on the printout. And you can just click on this, bring it back, and then you've got your list here again. Now up here you have print. So the different, let me go back one step. When you click on report, you'll see public and private. Private is for basically you as an agent, because it's going to list down below the listing company, the listing agent, all their contact information, the directions, the showing instructions, And this agent did not put agent remarks on here, but if there were agent remarks, they would be right here. Let's see if this one did. No, they didn't either. Okay, but that would be information that you would send to other agents. It would be right here saying agent remarks, and that would be information that you want the other agents to know. Maybe there's pets present, or you need a 24-hour notice, things like that. So, and then the public one, let me switch it to public, is basically the one that you're going to get to your customer, because down below it's not going to have the agent remarks, it's not going to have the showing instructions, and it's going to have your information down here. So this is what you're going to want to send out to your customers. So when you click on print, change this to private for now. And it will always pop up with this to let you know that you're about to email or print the private one, to make sure that that's what you want. So what you can do, say you're meeting your customers at Starbucks and you're going to go over all the listings that you're going to show them. You're going to show them like 4 or 5 listings that day. And so what you can do when you go to print these out, click on print both public and private. That way you've got this set for yourself with the showing instructions, the agent information, things like that, and the listing agent's information in case you need to contact them. And then you've got the public view, public printout to get to your customer so they can see the information regarding the property. When printing them out, you can also print all this other information if you wanted to. The map, the photos, documents, text information, supplement here. You can also print that out here. So if it's a big report, you're not printing out the full remarks on, then you can just click on supplement and print that out. You can always preview it before you print it out, or just click print. Or if you want to save it as a PDF, you would click on this, and it's going to come up and ask you if you want how to save it to your computer. And then to email them, there's 3 ways that you can email them. And because I'm in as the association, I don't have the option, nor when you first start working in Flex, when you go to email, it's going to give you 2 options. One's called interactive version. The other one is called brochure version. We defaulted ours to the interactive version. If I was in under just my ID, I could show you the difference, but I can do more stuff under the board one so I can show you different things because I don't have my own listings. That's why I'm using the boards. But you'll have, like I said, the brochure one and the interactive one. The brochure one is basically that. It's just a brochure. So you really want to email out the interactive one. So you would just click on the interactive version and then it would go to this screen. And what the interactive version will let them view all the photos. If there's a virtual tour, it will let your customer watch the virtual tour, things like that. So basically, you really always want to send them the interactive version one. Now, there's 3 ways that you can send them out. You've got just give me a link, and you would just click on get link, and then it will say copy to clipboard, and then it's going to be copied to your clipboard. And I use this sometimes when I do reciprocal listings for agents from other associations. And through the reciprocal agreement that a lot of the associations have. So what I do, I use that a lot because one, I've been emailing them back and forth, and now I've got their listing in. So instead of starting another whole email string, I'll just copy and paste it, go to my last email that I received from that agent, paste the link in there, and just send it on its way. So that's how I use that. So if you've been emailing your customer back and forth, you might want to just get the link and then just copy and paste it onto the last email that you received from them. And then they will just click on the link to open up the listings. The other way is you can use Flex MLS, and that's just going to give them a link. And then you've got your information down here where you can type in whatever you want to type to your customer. you would click, if they're added as a contact, you can click on that, and any contact that you have, you would just click on them, and then it would send it to them. You can also add additional email addresses down here. It defaults to sending you a copy and letting you know when they open the link. So that's how you can do it through Flex. The problem with doing it through Flex is that sometimes the customer internet will think it's spam and throw it into their trash or their spam file or something like that, because it's actually coming from the Flex system. So it takes a little bit longer, and because it's coming through Flex, it's got an email address from them and not you. Go back here. So I don't really recommend you using the Flex one because of those reasons. So if you do, the next one is my email application. And what this does is it's going to take you right to your own email application. So if you use my email application, you come down here and click on email. It is going to take you right to your Outlook, Yahoo, Gmail, whatever it is. So, and it's going to paste that link right into that email. So it's already there. And then you just finish typing up the email and send it to your customer. So, and that way they'll know it's coming from you because it's coming directly from your email, and they've already been getting emails from you. So their system should not throw it into spam or something. So that's the 3 different ways that you can email them. So let me get out of here. There's also, when you go to the views, let me go back to list. You also have these other views over here. So like this, it gives you different information. So you've got different views, and a lot of these down here, if they don't have a number next to it or say inherited, these are ones that we created to use here at the association. And in a little while, I'll show you how you can create your own views. So you only have certain things that you want up here on your one-liners if you want to do that. To residential. Go back to okay, I'm going to do another quick search. And I get questions a lot regarding like pools, HOAs, different things like that people do not want to have or they do want to have. So what you're going to do is you're going to go, I'm just going to do City Ormond again. And the areas, you've got all the different areas, and these are required fields. However, years ago, we gave out maps that outlined all the areas. We don't have the maps any longer. It's all electronically now. So if you're not sure which area a certain house belongs in, on the home page, and I should have showed you this. Go back to menu real quick. Oh, he took it off. We used to have the areas up here. Okay, Mark took it off. Okay, so I'm going to show you that when we go to enter a listing, because it used to be on your MLS links and it's no longer there. So let me go to quick search. Style, it's going to be single family, bedrooms up to 4. So now there's a criteria here that you don't see that you want to search by. Click on here where it says add a field to the search. These are all the fields that are in the MLS system. So you can either scroll through here and look at them all, or the easiest way to find something is you come over here, like I'm going to type in pool, I'm going to type in pools, and the whole pool category comes up. So you can individually move them over. So say they're looking for an in-ground private pool. I'm just going to click on that. It's automatically checked, and I'm down to 0 now. So they did want a pool. That's how you would add that. they decide, say they have a small child and they do not want to pool as of yet. So what you're going to do now is click on the green plus sign, add the whole entire fleet category over, close this. And right now it all says or, so I still have in-ground private marked, so they don't want to pool. So what I'm going to do is change the or to not. And I want to make sure I change it to not on all these that they don't want. The only one that I would not change to not is in-ground community, because you might be missing out on a house. It's like the Trails has a community pool. So if you keep the in-ground community pool as or, so any listings that might be in that area with a community pool will still come up, but the house itself doesn't have a pool. So make sure you don't change that to not, because you might miss some listings. You could change all, so you would just change all these to not, and then anything that it finds will not have a pool. And I'm not getting a lot of results because of the few inventory that we have. Now say they do want to pool and they want to make sure it's screened in. So I'm going to change this to and I'm going to change screen to and. So that means the in-ground private pool would be screened in. Now, if they don't care if it's screened in or not, you can change it to or and or. So anything that they find, it might have this screen in it or it might not. So that's how you can use the nots, the ors on different searches that you want. The same thing with, let me get rid of pools. Oops. The same thing would be with HOAs. And we have it under homeowners association. So you would actually have to type out homeowner. And then it comes right up, click on that, move it over and change that to not. So any listings that it finds, it will not have a homeowners association. Because I know those are the two ones that I get questions on all the time, but you can do it with any category at all. Say you have a listing and you're having a hard time finding it, but you know who the listing agent is. If you come down here and just type in listing, you can click over here, listing selling number, and then you'll be able to type in that person's name, find it, and so that that's a way that you can find their particular listing that they've listed. Okay, go back to quick search. So if it's not residential you're looking for, say you're a commercial agent, click up here where it says residential. You'll get a drop down of all the other different categories: residential, lease, multifamily, commercial, boat docks, and vacant land. After vacant land, then there's a few more, property search too. These are ones that we've created here. The only ones that you'll have is quick commercial and quick condo. I'll show you how to do a save template in a minute, so you can create your own searches as well. Quick commercial is basically just only has a few fields, because if you're a commercial agent, you'll notice that a lot of commercial agents do not put a lot of information in their listings. They just put the basics and that's it. So we made a quick one for that. The quick condo one basically is the different fields for different condo that people are looking for, like the condo, the waterfront, the city. The main thing that if you do use the quick condo search, make sure you still click on style, because we had to move the whole residential style over to that. So you would still have to make sure you click on condominium up here. Otherwise, you're still going to get all the other ones, the single family and single family attached as well. Oops, I didn't want to do that. Go back to quick search. We also had data co-ops with 3 other associations. So if you come up here and click MLS of the Daytona Beach Associations, you'll see that we have a data co-op with Flagler, Northeast Florida, which is the Jacksonville area, and Space Coast, which is Cocoa, Melbourne area. So we've got co-ops with all of them where they're actually search, you can click on that what particular one it is and search for what you're looking for in that area. So say that someone is relocating, then you can do a search there. Theirs is going to look a little bit different than our criteria because you're actually looking into their MLS system. Now, I know some people do because we're so close to Flagler, they want to see something in Flagler and in our MLS. So they, if you hold the control key down, you can highlight both of them and they can search for particular things in both MLSs at the same time. Yes, Lisa, go ahead and unmute yourself. Oh, can you add other links to the MLS link area? No, you can't. No, the MLS link area, you're not able to. That is something that our CEO here created to the for the MLS page. So you're not able to do that. Only we can, unfortunately. Okay, so the only thing to keep in mind if you are searching in the two different MLSs at the same time, when you come down here, you're only going to get fields that we actually have in common. You're not going to get, so I've had questions before because somebody's doing that and they're like, well, this category is not here anymore. It's because Flagler doesn't have the same category as we do for that particular field. So they're not going to show up. Hold on, I got another question here. Oh, so just keep that in mind if you're searching two MLSs at the same time, that these fields down here will be a little bit different because, oh, you're only going to get what we have in common. So you can search on all those different things. Okay, let me get out of here, go back to quick search. Now, when you go into quick search, we also have a lot of map overlays. So if you come over here next to this and click on browse. Oh, before I go there, I'll show you this part first before I show you all the different maps. Okay, so it always defaults to active. But if you want to look for maybe everything that was sold in breakaway trails for a year, click on where it says active and you'll get all the other categories. So I'm just going to pick on closed. And it goes back automatically to a year from today. So it's going back all the way to May of last year. And then why it goes 10 years in the future, I don't know why, the reasoning that they've done behind that. But you can change that. So I'm going to change it to, you can either put the dates in here, or if you click on the two little lines right here, you got dates back, months back, and years back. So I'm just going to make it a year back, 1 year. So it's going to search sold going back a whole year. And you can do the same with under contract, expiration date, withdrawal date, and cancel date. And then I'm just going to come down here and pick on subdivision, breakaway trails. And in the past year, 76 houses sold. So if you want to keep track of different sales in different areas, that's one way you can do it. Just come up here and make sure you click on the active that was here and then pick whatever you want closed. And then you'll see and put in your dates, and then you can see what closed in that particular area that you're looking for. Maybe you're tracking, that's your farm area. So you want to keep track of that stuff. So here, so if you click on browse right here at the top, here's all the different schools. We've got all these different maps. All these different schools that you can search by. We've got all the schools in Volusia County. I think he actually, when Mark did this, I think he also added a few in Flagler as well. So you've got all your schools, you got all the elementary schools, the middle schools, high schools. So say your customer wants their children to go to Spruce Creek High School, click on that. Click it. When you double click it, it comes over here, and then it's going to draw the outline on the map of the area zones for Spruce Creek High School. So now you've got all this mapped out area here and then from there you can do your searches, like say price that they're looking for, bedrooms, baths, you add that in. So now it went from 70 something because it was all the active areas or all the active listings for Spruce Creek. And now I've only got 8 because of the criteria I've put in. So that's how you can search by school zones. And like I said, we've got all the different ones here. And to get rid of that drawing on the map, you would just click on this little X here and it goes away. And then you're back to where it was. And let me uncheck these. So like I said, we've got all the elementary schools, middle schools, we've got opportunity zones, and this is by the census tracking. Then under number 5, we've got all the different MLS areas. So if you know the areas, you can actually search by it, or you can actually check to make sure if you're entering a listing and you think you know what area it is, you just click on that area. You can do a search real quick, click on the area that you think it's supposed to be in. It will draw it on the map, and then you can zoom in and make sure that that particular street is in that area, so you're actually entering it in the right area. Like I said, we used to give out the maps with the areas on there, and we did away with it only because we had so many maps left over, and they were doing new construction and stuff, and the maps were outdated. We still had like 5,000 of them left, so that's when we did the areas and stuff like that. That you could actually search by it on the MLS. If for some reason you're stuck on something, you cannot figure out what area this particular property is supposed to be in, give me a call. I still have 2 of those old maps, and I can usually figure out what area you're supposed to be listing out the property in. So you can always do that as well. So let's get rid of that map. We also, if you scroll down farther, the ones that are right here, 52 through 58, are areas in Flagler. We were trying to make it easier for our members to go up to Flagler and know pretty much where that particular property is. So we created map areas for the Flagler area. We tried to do it for New Smyrna Beach as well, but they weren't as cooperative. When the MLS committee decided that they wanted to do this, I emailed the Flagler Association and said, can you give me what your areas, how your areas are laid out, what cities and what streets and stuff are in each particular area? And they immediately sent me over a map showing the different area layouts and what they call each one of them. I asked the same thing of New Smyrna Beach. They got back to me and said it has to go to the board of directors. They finally got back to me 2 weeks later and said our board of directors said, no, we will not give you that information. So unfortunately, we do not have anything for New Smyrna Beach. Right now, all we have is Flagler and then our areas as well. Then here's also some more census tracking here. If you scroll down, you'll see all the different schools intertwined. We've also have Intercoastal Beachside and Intercoastal Waterway Mainland. Now, when Mark actually created the beachside one, he went all the way from the Flagler County line all the way down to Ponce Inlet, so it's pretty big. So if you click on it, and you'll see that it goes all the way down. So I'm not sure why he did it all the way down, but then you can add the city that you're looking into as well. So you can go through and add your different criteria over here, and it will eliminate some of these throughout the whole list. But it does go all the way from Flagler County line all the way down to Ponce Inlet. You can also do your own map search. It's going to zoom in some. And down here you've got the square, the circle, and the polygon. When you use the square, whatever point that you start at is what the edge of the square. So drag it out, double click it, and then it will show you everything in that particular area. And then you can come over here and add your different criteria as well. Again, to get rid of that, you're just going to click out of it. The circle, when you do the circle, wherever you start will be the center of the circle. Here. Double click. And then you can also click on the edge and you can do a radius search from here. You can see the different views, the bird's eye view, the street view. You can edit the circle. So just by clicking on the edge here, you'll get all this stuff that you can do right from the drawing that you just did. Then the way the polygon works, scroll in, is you just kind of draw it out. Double click when you're done. Come on. There it goes. And then you have, oops, come on, I did double click. See, not invalid. I've never had that happen. Okay, so let's go over here, click on it again. Okay, there it goes. So now you have your polygon, click on the edge, come on, and you can edit this one. Oh, come on. So now you've got edit. So if you click on edit, whoa. I have no idea what happened, but it just threw me into the ocean and I do not know why. That was weird. Okay, let's try this again. Click search. Polygon. Okay, for some reason, the system does not like a polygon today. All right, let me try and edit this one because I want to show you what it does on the polygon. Try and edit it. Come on. I want it to come up. I have no idea why the edit thing will not pop up right now. But normally when the edit pops up, you'll have some little yellow dots here. I don't know why it's not working properly. But you'll get some little yellow dots where you can click on the yellow dot and just drag the polygon out some. I don't know why it's not working. It's weird. Sorry about that. I'm not sure why it's not working right today. But yeah, so you would get like different yellow dots and then you would just kind of drag that dot out to a different position. And the more you drag it, the more dots you'll see. In here. Yes, let's take a 10-minute break right now. Somebody wants to take a break, so we'll go ahead and take a break. And so be back here at about 10 after 10. And I noticed that, oh, I'll wait till I get back. I totally go in the chat. Somebody has to make that a break. I know a lot of people did it when I saw them in the chat. Oh. Yes, I know that. Okay. Yeah, that's not even. Oh, wow. Okay. And I noticed there's only 40-some people out of 60-something. knew what it was to work right. Well, here, Saturday night, it wasn't work right. I didn't know those. So then Sunday, we played around with the car. It was Saturday, guys, it was fine Sunday. Then Monday, when we got home, it was a little bit warm. But yesterday, last night, it got. Okay, welcome back from break. Please go in the chat and let us know that you are back. So everybody, please go in the chat and just give us your name. I love that note. And we do have one person that we can't figure out who you are. It's showing you as 750246. So if you can go into the chat and let us know who you are so we can make sure that we mark you down that you did attend this class. Thank you very much. Okay. So now I'm going to show you a couple more things that you can do under the map section. Let me get rid of this. So you got all these here. You also have what's called Nosy Neighbor. This might be really helpful right now since inventory is very low. So if you click on this and scroll in under Nosy Neighbor and go to a particular maybe a subdivision that you're looking at, click on that particular lot, and it will tell you the lot size for one thing. It will also tell you the last time it was listed. So if they've been living there for a long time, you might want to send them a flyer or something in the mail. They might be thinking about moving. So that's one way you can use. So that's how you can use Nosy Neighbor. It gives you some information. Like this one hasn't been listed since 2012. See if I can find one that has never been. Sometimes you'll find some that have never been listed. Oh, that was listed back in 2004. But like I said, so you can see the different, you can see information regarding it, the tax information, neighborhood profile, property map, and this will take you straight to RPR. What's reported in RPR for this particular parcel. Yes, Tony, go ahead and unmute yourself and ask the question. Okay. Okay, so let me see if I can find a lot that has never, let me click on it. There's a neighbor. Well, this one looks like it has been listed several times and only closed once in 2002. So they've listed it again since they closed on it in 2002. They might want to go in here and they might be wanting to move because it looks like after they bought it in 2002, they tried to list it again in 2003. So they might be ready to move. So that's one way you can go around a neighborhood and get all the information regarding the different lots. See if I can find one that's never been listed here. And like I said, with the inventory this low right now, this might be a good thing to try. Come on. Give me another lot. Why? There it goes. I was gonna say, why isn't this? Yep, see, this one's never been listed. So, like I said, send out flyers, see if you can get some houses. Because the inventory is so low, this might help some to get some more listings out there. But it's called Nosy Neighbor, and it's this little icon right here. Okay, now I'm going to show you how you can do some safe searches. So I'm going to go to quick search. So what you're going to do is pick your criteria. Whoops, switch fields. If you're just getting back from the break, I already announced it. Please go in the chat and let us know that you're back so we can mark that you are still attending the class and you're getting credit for this. And again, we have somebody logged in at 750246 please let us know what your name is so we can mark you down. Thank you very much. Because Angie's in the chat right now trying to make sure she gets everybody marked down. Family living area from 1,500. Okay, so now I've got my criteria that I'm looking for. So now I'm going to come up here to save and click on save, and I'm going to click on save search. First thing you have to do is name it. So I'm going to come up here, name the search. If you want to give a description, you can put a description down here, maybe regarding the client or what they're looking for, something like that. And you're going to come down here and click save. Now you have that search saved. So now you can go to, if you don't have it on the toolbar, you're going to click on menu, go down to save searches. It's going to show you all the searches that are saved on this actual under our association right now that we've been playing with. So I'm going to go to May, click on it, view details, and it'll show you that the search results was 0. These are the parameters. If you want to look at the listings, click on the total number of listings, and then you've got your listings right here. So you can do a save search, and then whenever you're looking for your client information again, so you can look to see if anything new came up on it, you would just go to that particular save search. You don't have to redo the whole search over again. You would just click on that. And then if something comes up, you can always edit the search. Go back to my save searches. No, it's not here. Like this, you can delete it, you can name it, you can view the details. So if you wanted to say edit it, you would just click on this one again. Come on. There you go. Edit search. It's going to show you everything marked. So say you wanted to add something else, year built. I'm going to put in 2000. 2000. So now I'm down to 4 because I put in the dates. So again, you're just going to click on save because you're going to edit it, save search. And you already have it there, so you hit save again. So now you've added the year built to your search. So that's how you can edit it. Back to quick search. So now I'm going to show you how you can create your own template. So this one just saves all the criteria. The template is only the fields that you want. So I'm going to go here, go down to quick searches, or my quick search, I'm sorry. Where's my quick search? My quick searches is under preferences, so I'm going to go here. Now here, these are all the regular templates that we have. And then here's the quick commercial and quick condo, and here's some other ones that we created. So to create a new quick search template, you're going to click on new. First thing again, you have to name it. Name it May. Then you have what type of property type it is, what the view is, that's the one-liner. So if you want to just use regular residential. So then you're going to click on next. And then you're going to pick your category or your fields that you want. One field that you always have to add is status. If you don't add status, you're going to get every status there is, closed, pending, expired, withdrawn. If you make sure you click status, it always defaults to active, so you get the status of active. So I'm just gonna go through here and pick some things. I wanna have total maps. And holding the control key down will let you pick more, do all the fields at one time. City. List price. And status. Now I'm going to add them. Now they're all here. So you can put them in whatever order that you want. So I'm going to move list price up to the top. Status right underneath that. And save it. So now I've saved the template. So to use this, you're going to go to quick search. You're going to click on residential up here, and I'm going to scroll down to the one I just created, May. Click on that. Now I've got just the statuses that are the fields that I want to search by all the time. So you can create your own template. If you find that you're only using certain fields, this is the way you can do that. So then I would do my search from here and just pick these different fields that I wanted. To go back and do, maybe you find that you're constantly adding another field to this, you go back to menu, under my quick searches. Click on the one you created, edit, May, click edit. Next again, and let's see, what do I want to add? Oh, let's add style, because I didn't do style, so that would help. Move style over. Save it again. And now when you go to quick searches and click on May, then now you also have the style in here as well. So that's how you can create your own template and and put the different fields that you find yourself searching for all the time. So you don't have all the other extra fields that if you don't want them there. So that's how you can do that. Now I'm going to show you how you can create your own view, which is the one-liner. So let me show you the one-liner again real quick here. So again, this is the one-liner. This is the two default ones, the photo one and the one line here. And then you have all these here that you can pick and choose from to see the different information here. So you find that none of these things, views have what you're exactly wanting on your one-liners. So you're going to come to menu, and you're going to create your own. You're going to scroll down under preferences, click on my views. You're going to create. Once again, first thing you have to do is name it. And you can actually add, if you want to, add photos to it or not. Now I'm going to go to fields, and always price status in the MLS number is always selected already. Then from here, you can pick and choose what you want. So let's say I want agent days on market. Price is already there. City. Let's go ahead and the listing number. So, and then you can just move them up to different positions except for these three here. So I'm just going to leave it as that. Click on save. So now when I do a quick search, I don't know if you can hear it, but we have this bird that always does this, and he's out there by he's pounding on the window, and we can't get him to stop, and he's doing it all the time. I don't know if you can hear him or not. He's right by where I'm sitting and pounding on the window. We think it's a woodpecker because he's constantly pecking at the window for some reason, and there's a tree right there as well. Okay, thank you, Tony. I see that that's who the number. Okay, I'll write that down. Okay. So now I've got my search. I'm going to go to view results, and I want to use my May. Scroll down here, my view for May. Now I've got what I wanted here: the MLS number, the status, address, the price, listing member, days on market, and the city. And you can narrow these down if you just hover over them and make them shorter. I mean, wider or smaller. Come on. So you can adjust them. You can also change the how the results look. So I'm going to do ascending. You can do that on all of them. You just click on the category name and picks ascending or descending, and then you'll have them in the order that you want. And then now you have your view that you want. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to enter a listing. So, and different people will have different things that they're able to do depending on who your broker is. It makes no difference to us what level access you're given. It's up to your broker. When you first join, unless we've already been instructed by, and some brokers have already told us what to give all their new agents. So we have a list of that. But if we don't have something from the broker, we automatically give you the normal agent access level, which will allow you to enter a listing in. It will make it active, but it's going to say waiting approval. So it'll give you an MLS number and everything, but you won't be able to see it until your broker goes in there and approves it. So, and then you will not be able to make price changes or status changes. Everything else you'll be able to do. That is the normal agent access level. If you find that you're having to get your listings approved and you don't want that, you want to be able to make them go active right away, you want to be able to make all the changes, talk to your manager or your office manager or your broker. And if they say, yes, it's okay for us to give you the upper level, which means the second you add the listing, it's going to be live and you'll be able to make all changes. All we need is something in writing from the broker sent over to us, and then we can change your access level. Now, keep in mind, if you change offices, unless we have something else from the new office that you're going in, we're going to drop you back down to that, the normal agent access level until we get something from the new broker. But it's up to them. It's not up to us, it's up to your broker. So if you find that, just talk to them and then have them send us an email, and right away we will change it. If you already had a listing in, had entered a listing in that is waiting approval, even if we change your access level that same day, that one listing will still have to be approved by the broker. But in the future, anything else after that will not. So here, go to add, here's that listing. So add listing. First thing you do is pick your property type, you'll be able to pick yourself right here. If you're an admin or a broker, you'll see everybody in your office. Add myself, one. And if it's a co-lister, if you have a co-lister, you will be able to pick anybody in your office and enter their ID or their name in here as the co-lister. So you'll be able to do that. Now, what parent-child option is, basically it's used for like multifamily listings or vacant land listings. So say you have a listing that's 4 parcels of land. So what you can do is enter that, and that they can be sold all together or they can be completely sold separately. So what you're going to do is put the parent listing as all 4 lots together. So you'll go in there and you'll create that listing with all 4 lots and how they can be sold together. And then after you enter that in and get the MLS number, then you're going to come back in and enter all 4 lots separately. So, and then you will mark them as the child listing. You will put the MLS number of the 4 lots together right here. And so when somebody does a search, because they're all linked together, and it matches one of the criteria, all 5 of those listings will come up. So that's how the parent-child listing works. If it's just a normal listing, just leave it as the regular listing, and you don't have to even worry about the parent-child thing. And you're going to come here and you're going to put in your address. And for some reason, I've been seeing this happen a lot lately, and I'm not sure why. And it's happening a lot like on Atlantic Avenue and Causeway. And I'll show you what I mean. Because instead of putting, say if it's South Atlantic Avenue, instead of putting the S here for the compass point, they're actually entering it in here. So they have the South here and then Atlantic. So if somebody searches Atlantic, that listing is not going to come up because it has the S here. The S always, or northwest, east, always has to go under the compass point. So that's one thing that I'm seeing happen a lot. And then the other thing is the Causeway one. Instead of putting the north here, they're putting north under the street name. And because Causeway is also a suffix, they're coming over here and putting Causeway here. That's also one way that this listing will not be found. And it will pop up on our data checker report as well for having the address incorrectly. So I don't know why I've never seen it until this last year. I'm seeing it a lot. So I just want to point that out, since when you're entering your listing or whoever's entering your listing for you, just keep track of that. So there's here, enter listing in Norfolk. Now, the reason why we have the county first, then the city, state, and zip code is whatever county it's in, you're only going to have the cities for that particular county. So right now I've got all the cities in Volusia County. So if you were actually entering this listing and it was in Flagler, you're only going to get the cities for Flagler. So it's a feature that Flex uses called the scroll feature, and they're all linked together. So that's why the county's first. We do have Volusia and Flagler at the top because that's mostly what our agents put in. However, we do have all the other counties in the state of Florida in here as well. So if by chance you get a listing that's out of the area, you will be able to put it in our system. Volusia. Now, with the cities, you only get the zip codes for that particular city. So it's marked Ormond Beach. So when you click on zip code, you're only going to get the zip codes for Ormond Beach. So say this listing was actually in Daytona Beach. When you come over here to zip code, you get all the zip codes for Daytona Beach. Here's where you pick your style. So it's a single family. And here, and I've noticed this happening a lot lately too, and I'm not positive why, maybe because the property appraisers just changed their property appraiser site again for Volusia County. And now they have the long version of the parcel number as well as the short version of the parcel number when you first open up a property in their site. The only one that works with our MLS is the short parcel number. It's the 12-digit one. And lately, I've seen a lot of people putting in the 14-digit one, and that will not link to the property appraiser site when you click on the parcel number in a listing. If you click on the question mark up here, it even tells you it must be the Volusia County 12-digit only. That's the that's the one that will allow it to work. But I don't even know why some people are actually even typing the parcel number in here, because if you just click on populate tax data, it's automatically going to put the 12-digit one in there. So I'm not even sure why. And Data Checker picks these up automatically. And yesterday I got 3 of them that were emailed to me because the Data Checker system picked them up, and it sent me the violation notice saying that these parcel numbers were wrong. Which, if you take a look at the MLS fines, that is one of the fines. And if you have it in there wrong, you will get a $25 fine. So just make sure, just click on populate tax data, and it will auto-populate for you. It will only do this for Volusia and Flagler County, however. So that's the only links we have. So if you're doing maybe an Orlando listing and putting it in ours, it will not link to Orange County. So when you're done there, you're just going to click, and you can click on the tabs up here, or you can click next down here. Now up here, as you see, it says last auto save. That's one thing I liked about the system from the beginning. We've only had this system probably about 5 years now. We used to have Innovia. We had that one for like 13 years. And I would, because I do reciprocal listings, I would get kicked out sometimes and lose the whole listing. This listing, this MLS actually saves the listing automatically every 2 minutes. So if something does happen, say your laptop dies, or you have to leave, or something happens and power goes out, or your internet goes out, you're not going to lose a lot of that listing that you've been entering, because it does save it every 2 minutes. So now I'm just going to click on main fields. It's going to ask you, is this the correct location for this property? If you find out that it's not exactly where that property is, hover over the pin and you can actually drag it to wherever it needs to be. Normally it's pretty close to where it's supposed to be. I only had one person one time, that poor agent, she was so frustrated, she gave me a call because it kept throwing the pin in the ocean. We couldn't figure out, she saved it as incomplete so I could look at it, and I still couldn't figure. We both had to play around with it till we finally figured out how to get the pin to where the property address was. So you're just going to click on use this location, and then you've got all the other fields to enter in. And everything in this pinkish yellowish color is the required fields. And if you have any questions with any of the fields, every field has the question marks. Just click on that and it opens it up and tells you what goes there. So here you're just going to go to the dates, put your dates in, price. Now this is what I was talking about before, the areas that are required. So if you're not positive, you can either do the search by the area to find out, to make sure that street's in that particular area. Or if you just pick which one you think it's in, or you can click on the question mark, go here and open this link. Oh, for some reason it's not working. Usually, oh, that's strange. I'll have to have Mark look at that link. Because normally it would take you to Google Maps with all of our areas in it, as well as you click on different areas and it will draw the map on the Google Maps. So I'll have to have Mark look at that link and find out why it's not working right now. But normally that would work, and and then you can pick and choose what area you think it is, zoom in and just double check that that street is located in that particular area. Like I said earlier, I do have 2 of the folded maps here still. So if you're still not sure, call me up and I can look on one of them and figure out which area that property is in, so you get the right area for that listing. The biggest one that I see that's always wrong is Ormond by the Sea. Everybody seems to want to always put it as area 17 from Granada on up to Flagler, but 17 only goes from Granada to about 3 miles north. After that, it's area 18. So that's the one that I see a lot wrong. So like I said, it's 17 and 18, because up by Ormond by the Sea is definitely area 18. But if you're not sure, just give me a call. Then it automatic, so you did the auto-populated the taxes. The legal up here is auto-populated. So then the homesteaded. Oh, it's just. Driving directions can be a bit tricky when you're entering them in because you only have 120 characters to put something in. And you do have to have driving directions to the property. You cannot use GPS or anything like that. It has to be the actual driving directions. And then you got your different commissions. Sub-commissions, pretty much something that's not done anymore and hasn't been for years. It's still in our system. I guess it was going to be too hard to take it out because some listings from the past have sub-commissions in there that are closed out or expired. So they left it in there. So you just put 0 in there if you want. Even if you put 0 in any of these commissions, you still have to have the % sign or $ next to it. So when you do 0 and then you just go to the next field, it's actually going to tell you that you have to have the $ or the % sign. Even though it's 0, you still have to do that. Let's go do % sign here. And we get a lot of questions on NRR, which stands for non-representation relationship. So if somebody's not being represented, are you going to offer them a commission? So here's the information, the definition of what NRR means. Some people will offer them the same commission, some people will be less. Then you have your type down here, dual, regular, or variable. And again, most of the time it's regular. There's some out there that say dual or variable. Dual or variable, if you read the definitions, it depends on who sells it, depending on how much commission that they're going to get. So I'll pick regular, then foreign seller. Oh, list type is usually MLS. Then you got foreign seller. And NRR required, yes or no. 99% of the time, this is going to be no, unless it's a flat fee company that doesn't really represent the sellers. You're representing the sellers and you have a listing agreement, then the answer is no. Because if you mark it yes, that means you are not representing the sellers. So like I said, 99% of the time it's no. And it automatically put in the bedrooms and baths. Like I said before, if you have two full baths and 1 half bath, the number up here, it has to be 3. Then you got occupied, super, yes or no. You're living in total square foot area. Right here, it automatically auto-populates from the property appraiser site for the acreage. If you leave that in, it's going to have the normal list price plus list price per acre. So some people don't like the list price per acre. So if you don't want that in there, when you get to this field, just take it out. Then you have your subdivisions and your maintenance fee and maintenance fee paid. Now, like the trails, we recently added this field about 2 months ago for a sub HOA fee because some of the places in the trails, they have their main trails HOA, then they have one for that particular subdivision inside the trails. So now you've got 2 spots. So if you do have 2, like something like that, you can add the second one down here. Water and sewer, special conditions as is. So you got all this. Okay, and then you've got these basically unit floor location and minimum rental is basically for condominiums. And you come down, lot sizes here, you have to put the lot size and dimensions. So here it is. Then you got come down here, and these aren't required because they're not in the pinkish red. Now here's the remarks. This is what I was saying. This section here is where only 800 characters are available. And like I said, it's because of the IDX feeds. Most of them will not take all the remarks. They usually take about 800 characters. I've actually had agents complain to me because on certain websites, when the vendors did it through the IDX feed, they actually cut a listing or a remark right in the middle of a word because they only pick so many characters. And once they hit that character and it cut the word right in half. So we recommend that you do the main marketing, the best features of the house or commercial property or whatever it is, in the first 800 characters up here. And remember, you cannot put your phone number in here, your name, it cannot be in public remarks. Any websites, URLs cannot be in public remarks. Company names, nothing like that can be in public remarks as it goes out to the public. Then when you click on more, you have another 10,000 characters. So you can write whatever else you want regarding that particular property. Like I showed you earlier, on listings, you'll see the word more. While we were on break, I actually got a phone call, and I'm gonna have to get in touch with Flex when we finish the class, because she was clicking on more, or she did the she was printing it out actually, and she was printing it out with full remarks detailed display, but it wouldn't give her all the right. It wouldn't give her the rest of the remarks. It still just said more. So there's got to be a glitch somewhere. So when I did it, I got the same thing. So I'm gonna check into that one after the class. Then down here, you got your agent info section. This is where you can put like 24-hour notice, pets on property, whatever you want in here for other agents to know. And then you come down here. I've never seen anybody that had to use this second one. They usually have enough. I think there's like 1,000 characters in here. It doesn't say, but I think there's like 1,000 characters that you can put in here. So I've never really seen anybody have to use the second one as well. But if you do, then they'll be linked together. Showing instructions is what you put down here. If you do put showing instructions down here, this is a free form where you can type in whatever you want. There's also showing instructions under the detail views as well, however. So if you do say somebody's living in it and you say occupied, 24-hour notice, please call listing agent at whatever phone number or email and text. And then the people move out and you take occupied out of here, but forgot about the under the detail section that you marked occupied there as well, because that is a required field. Then you make sure you go in there as well and change those showing instructions also, because I get phone calls all the time. Well, I changed the showing instructions, but it's still showing there. It's because they changed it in one and not the other. So if you do put stuff in here, make sure that you also, and when you change something, make sure you change it in both. The showing instructions down here, don't even worry about this one. This is pretty much for showing time only. So it links actually to showing time. It did just say showing instructions for a while. And then somebody on the MLS committee wanted me to find out why we now had 2 showing instructions, since there's so much room on this one. And I called Flex and I said, why do we have 2 showings? And they said, well, one of them had to be added when you got showing time, and that because it links to showing time. So this is for users of showing time only, because it will put stuff on showing time as well. So that's why there's 2 different ones. Office remarks, when you're entering office remarks, only the people in your office will be able to see them. Nobody else will be able to see them. So if there's something that you want only your office members to know, you would put it there, and then when they pull up the listing, they'll be able to see that. Then you come down to your details, and this is where you mark all the different details. I want to point out regarding waterfront, because I get a lot of reported violations on this. Other agents, and I actually got 4 of them yesterday on one particular condo building just by itself, regarding waterfront and water view. So if you click on the question mark, where's oceanfront? Oceanfront complex. It tells you it has to abut the ocean. The complex must be right on the ocean. So if the complex is across A1A, like it is up in Ormond by the Sea, some of the condos way up there, or across A1A from the ocean, or up in Flagler, that's not waterfront, because it's not right on the ocean. That's ocean view. Same thing with ocean front home or unit, if it's across the street from A1A, or if the unit is facing A1A and not the ocean, it cannot be ocean front, it has to be ocean view. And like I said, I get a lot of reports on this because if you go into, when you're pulling up listings in Flex, there is a button that you can click on that says report violation. So if you see something wrong in a listing, you can click on that, type what's wrong with that listing, and it shows up on our data checker reports that we get, so we can get it taken care of. So what we do is just send out a manual 48-hour notice to that agent, tell them they have 48 hours to correct it. So, and you'll point out the ocean front and ocean view, and it will tell you about each one what it's supposed to be. Same with riverfront, we get them as well. And you just keep scrolling down, it's got all the information that you can pick. There's only a couple of these under details that is actually a required field. Keep scrolling. So air conditioner is one. Scroll down, scroll down, scroll down. Showing instructions. This is the other showing instructions that I was telling you about. So if you change one, make sure you go in here and change the other one as well. And special conditions, this came about years ago when we had a lot of short sales and foreclosures. We had to put something in there so we can mark them, so agents can mark them if they were a short sale or if they were in foreclosure or anything. So most of the time we don't see these very often. We usually always see this one marked none. If you're not sure, OWC means owner will consider. I've had people mark owner will consider financing. That means the owner will consider financing the property themselves. And because they mark it, they don't understand what OWC is. And so they mark it for this, and then I'll get phone calls from other agents saying, well, that owner's not considering the financing. So then I have to contact the agent and let them know to unmark that. So that's what that means. Owner will consider. Just keep scrolling down. Then you have this disclosure saying, yes, I own the photos or I have the rights to use them. This is a big issue that we have a lot of we have a lot of complaints about over the years, especially with condo buildings. People copy and use other agents' photos, and they're not allowed. It's not only a copyright issue, it's against our MLS rules. You cannot use a photo from another agent's listing and use it on your own listing without their permission. And very rarely they're going to give you permission because they pay good money with photographers to get those photos. And we have this happen pretty much. I get them probably at least one complaint a week saying this agent copied and used my photos. And that is an automatic $250 fine if you copy and use somebody else's photos. You also have to be very careful about using photos out of other websites. The property appraiser says, yes, you can use any photos, especially that's in their websites on your listings. Google has certain restrictions. Other websites have certain restrictions. There's also a lot of condo websites out there that people have copied them off of and gotten in trouble for. And somehow there's a way that you can, when you take a photo and you have that code, there's somehow a way to go and search by that code to see where those photos are showing up on the internet. And there are companies that do that for other companies. We actually had a couple of years ago, had an agent that copied pretty much all the amenity photos off of a condo and used it in his particular listing. He ended up getting a letter from the condo's attorney. We got a copy of that letter sent to us. The condo's attorney charged them $1,700 for the copy because those photos were copyrighted and he did not have the right to use those. And so we got the letter as well telling us, because it was a closed listing, that we had to remove the photos. So we called that particular agent and said, what photos did you copy? We have to take them out. And he said, this, and this one. So we took them out. Then I guess he went back in and looked at the photos again. And he called us back and said, no, take the rest of them out. He pretty much copied every photo off the website. So you need to be very, very careful when you're using photos if you're taking them off of different websites, because there's a lot of copyright issues out there and you are not allowed to use somebody else's photos, especially for our MLS system. And it happens all the time. And we're getting emails and calls about that. Somebody else copied their photo and used it. And like I said, the MLS committee made that an automatic fine if you do that. There's also a copyright issue with remarks. You're not allowed to copy somebody's remarks word for word. And that's also a copyright issue as well. So just on those two, just keep that in mind. Then when you come down here, you got your rooms. So you got bedroom 1 and kitchen are both required. The rest of them are up to you if you want to put them in. You're just going to go here and select which level it is. Put your room size in. Then if there's something special about that particular room, you actually can enter some remarks down here regarding that, what that room, maybe a fireplace or something like that, something that can describe the room. Maybe this can be used as a den or office, anything that you want to describe that room, you can enter in there as well if you want. Your kitchen, and then add a room. Then you have all these other rooms that you can add going down here. So you just pick and choose which room you want. And if somehow you accidentally entered a room and you didn't want that room, all you have to do is click remove room. You want to remove this room and you can remove it. So that's how you can remove the room. Photos is here. You can only enter the primary photo here. And then after you save the listing is when you're going to go back in and enter the rest of the photos. The rule for the primary photo right now is that the primary photo has to be the exterior of the house, the condo building, the commercial building. And the house or the building, condo building, or whatever building it is, has got to be the predominant part of the photo, meaning that it has to be over 50% of that photo must be the house or the condo building. It cannot be the ocean, it cannot be a view, it has to be that. However, the MLS committee has a task force right now reviewing our photo rules. So in the next couple of months, that rule may change. And if and when it does, it will be put in the MLS system on the message board. What the new rule is, it will be sent out in the Friday at 5 that we send out every Friday. And it will also be in the newsletter. And we normally give a 30-day warning before that particular rule goes into effect. So just keep your eyes out for that in the next couple of months, because the task force went back to the MLS committee. They made some tweaks, some changes to what the task force recommended, but now it still has to go to the board of directors for approval. So they may or may not approve it. We don't know what's going to happen yet, but if it does change, we will let every member know. So just keep your eyes out for that. But like I said, right now, it has to be, the primary photo has to be the exterior of the house, the condo building, the lot for the vacant land, or the commercial building. So you would just click on browse, go to, oh wow, it went straight to this file. I don't know what this file is, but I'll use one of the photos. And you will not see it until after you get out. So I'm just gonna name it front. And oops, if I could spell this morning, it'd be nice. Front. And then broker distribution is how your listings go out syndicated. It defaults to ListHub. ListHub sends it out to all kinds of websites. The only way you can really know where they're sending it to is you actually have to go to their website, scroll down to the bottom. If you click on publishing, it will show you all the websites that they send your listings out to. They do not send them to Zillow. They used to years ago. They had a contract dispute and ListHub cut Zillow off. Now, I know a lot of bigger companies like Adams Cameron, Realty Pros, they already have everything set up so their listings automatically go to Zillow. If you're a small company and you find that your listings aren't going to Zillow, just email our CEO, because what happened was when ListHub cut them off, our board of directors decided at that time that they were not going to automatically send all the listings to Zillow. It's by office preference. So So if you find that your listings aren't going to Zillow, talk to your broker. Your broker can email Mark. Mark will set it up so the listings will then go to Zillow. But as of right now, most of the offices, I believe, do feed to Zillow now, but they've had it set up. But I know for sure the bigger ones, Watson, but the franchises like Watson, Century 21, Remaxes, their corporate does it. Their corporate sends them out to Zillow. So there's something wrong with your listing in Zillow. There's nothing we can do about it because your corporate office is the one sending those listings out to Zillow. So you would either have to contact them or Zillow themselves. And then sometimes the sellers don't want people to be able to make comments or a market analysis on there, or they don't want their address on the internet. Or I don't know why they would do this. They want the listing excluded from the internet altogether. So you can mark any of these. I will let you know though, recently I was attending a virtual meeting with NAR regarding some changes that they're making to their MLS policy, which trickles down to us, so we have to follow along. I guess there are some MLSs out there that do not require addresses being in the MLS. Well, NAR's trying to make that change that everybody has to put the address in the MLS. And I've been, like I said, I've been working here 24 years, and I never knew that there was MLSs out there that weren't putting their street addresses of houses in there. But NAR's changing that. Okay, so when you're done, you're just going to come over and click on Add Listing. Now, I did not do all the fields, so I'm going to get an error message. So let's see, Add Listing. I've got 14 errors. Usually, you may get 1 or 2. But since I skipped a bunch of stuff, so you just click OK. It's going to take you back to the very first field that you missed. Fill that in and then fill it. And then sometimes you'll see like these are all not filled in. And you can go right down the list. If it's like 1 or 2, once you fill that one in, just click Add Listing again. It would take you to the other one that you missed. But that's very rare. I mean, you'll never get a whole lot like I did because I didn't fill hardly anything in. Usually it may be 1 or 2 at the most. So I'm just going to save it as incomplete. And one thing I want to show you that I always wait to show you on searches is when I'm entering the listing in. This down here. Up here, where you can enter in the address. So say you're in the middle of doing this. You're entering a listing in, and one of your customers says, hey, I just passed this house. There's a sign in the yard. Can you look it up and tell me about it? So you would just come up here and type in the address, and it will start looking for addresses. And so what you can do when you find that particular listing, click on New Tab, so it opens it up in a new tab, and you're not going to be out of the screen that you're already in. Click on New Tab. This pops up. And then you can tell them about the particular listing. And then when you're done, you can just get out of it. You can also, up here, okay, I got a question. Does List Hub include New Smyrna Beach? List Hub doesn't, I don't know if New Smyrna Beach has List Hub, but List Hub sends it out to the internet. And so I'm not sure about New Smyrna Beach, and won't include their listings if they don't have it. Okay. It's only for the listings in our MLS. So you can also look up addresses. You can also put like 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, and it will start looking for something in there. And then just open them up in a new tab here. Now, if you do it by address sometimes, because of the data co-ops that we have with those 3 other associations or MLS number, if they have something that matches, both MLSs will come up here under here. So say if you put one of our MLS numbers in there to pull up a listing real quick, if I think NEFAR has the same numbering system as us, if one of them matches it, you'll get both our listing and their listing. So just keep that in mind. Sometimes it does the same thing with addresses as well. You can also search, like I said, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths. You can search by city, zip code. You can also search by members. If you need to contact a member, you can type in their name. It will start looking for streets first, and then it will go from that to cities, and then down to members. So say you found the person you want, click on new tab. That's going to give you all that particular agent's information, their email address, and you can email them directly from here, their phone numbers, all this information regarding. When you're done, just close it out. So that's how this is utilized. I usually wait till I'm entering the listing in, because that's probably when some people use it more often. So now I'm going to save it as an incomplete listing. So now you come back later and you're ready to finish that listing. You're just going to come down, click on menu, go to my incomplete, click on the one that you want, scroll down, click edit, listing information, and it opens right back up and you can finish it. Now up here, create floor plan. This is something new we got back in February, and you will have to sign up for it if you haven't yet. You just go to under products, under menu, and you can go to floor plan, set up your account. It's free and you have to download the app on your phone. It's free for members to have the app. However, if you create a floor plan and you want to add it in your listing, they charge you $12 per floor plan. So after the class, I've got a link that from when we first did the initial Zoom meeting with people at Flex. They sent me the link so I could send it out to members. So it shows you how it works, how you can walk through the house and just create your floor plan with the room sizes and everything. They show you the best way to use it with the app on how to hold the phone. They talk about it a little in depth, and if you have problems, what to do, how to call, how you send the floor plan to them, and then they'll create it for you. So that's something new that we've had since February. We just got a report the other day from Flex, and it only went up. The first month we had it, it showed that 4.5% of our members were starting to use it. And then it went down to 3% more. And then this last report we got from the people at Flex said that this one was low. It's only at 1% new members are starting to use it. So talk to people in your office that may have had it or tried it, see what their opinion of it is. Because I'm not sure why it's not being utilized. The app's free. You just have to pay for the floor plans if you want to put the floor plan on your listing. So yeah, so you would just go in under products, and so you go here, go under products, floor plan, and then you would just sign up for it there. And you have to put a card on file with them. So if you do create a floor plan, they'll automatically charge you $12. And where the floor plan shows up is in the photos. So if you have one created for you, so when you click on photos, the second photo will be the floor plan. So let me go back here. Let me go back to my incompletes. You can actually, even though the listing hasn't been completely saved as incomplete, you can go in there, add photos, documents, and virtual tours and videos. Now, they recently changed this last week. That's why what's news here, they combine the two together. You can watch the video on it. It used to be 2 separate fields. Now they're together. So, and I haven't, since they opened this up, I haven't played with it. So I suggest you just watch the video. Because I think they did it like last Thursday or Friday, and we're swamped here at the association and we're shorthanded. So I haven't had time to watch how it's done yet. So I'm not going to try and figure it out right now and waste your time. But photos, you're just going to go here, click on that. I already added the one photo in. So you go to add photos and just pick and choose. I wonder where this file came from. since there's so many copies, I'm not going to pick them all. I don't know what happened with this file. Oops. But I'm just going to pick a few of them so I can show you that they do load all at the same time. Okay. Then click open. And it will just start dropping the photos in. There is no limit to how many photos you can put in here. In fact, when Flex years ago came out and demoed this, their software to us, they're actually located out in Fargo, North Dakota. So they have a lot of bigger clients out west. MLS is like in California and stuff. So they were trying to impress us, and they showed us an MLS that included Hollywood. So they're showing us these multi-billion or dollar properties. And they showed us a listing that had 500 photos in it. Now that's, I mean, yeah, the property is big, but still 500 photos. I seriously doubt anybody's going to look at 500 photos. But their point was that it's unlimited, that you can put as many in there as you want. Every once in a while, I will do a search for photos. And we do have some agents out there putting over 70 photos in a listing. Mark usually teaches a photo class. And I stole this from him. What he suggests is you don't want to put too many photos in there. Maybe depending on the property size and what it has, maybe 24 to 40 something. Because if you put a photo of every little square inch of the house, one room has 5 photos of it from every angle. The customer's already seen everything. So there's nothing to really intrigue him to go want to see more. So you want to use photos that will make a buyer want to go see that particular house, see more of it. So if you put too many photos in there, they might be, okay, I've seen it all. I don't need to see that one in person right now. So just when you're doing photos, keep that in mind. Now you can rename them up here. Up here you have, I forgot how many characters is it. Photos. Okay, the top part, you can type a title up to 40 characters up here. Then down here, you can describe the room as well. And you've got up 1,000 characters. So you can describe that room as well as here too. So you can just type in whatever you want if you want to describe them. I know most people change the titles up here. I don't see that many listings utilizing this though. And be careful when if you start moving photos around. I was looking for an example of it earlier, but I couldn't find one. Because what happens sometimes, if you have a lot of photos and you start moving them around in a particular order, you accidentally click this flag and turn it blue. Now this is the primary photo. So it says so now when somebody pulls that listing up, this is going to be the primary photo of that property, of that listing, and not this one. Even though this one's in first place, this one has a blue flag marked, and that makes it the primary photo. And I see it happen sometimes when people start moving photos around in different orders, they accidentally click that flag, and they'll have the right one here, and they think it's okay, but because they marked that flag, that one's going to show up as primary. And there's 2 different ways that you can move them around. You can just drag them. Oops. Or if you have like 30 photos and you want one from the bottom all the way up to the top, just click here. It has all the different numbers of the photos. Click here, and that will move that one to the top. So that's how the 2 ways that you can move the photos around. Just drag and drop, or do it by the numbers. Okay. And then if you want to get rid of one, you can just hit the trash can. It'll tell you that it's removing it, and you actually are able to undo it if you want to. So undo it. Documents is basically the same way. You just go to browse. I don't know where this file came from, so I don't even know if there's going to be a document on there. Oh, there is. You would just click here, click open, give it a description, and add it. And when you're done, if you have more, then you would just click on add document and add more to it. And then if you are able to make changes to your listings, this is where you would go. So you would go to, change listings is up here. You will see all your listings here. Like I'm in this board, so I'm seeing every listing we have. So one thing that happens, sometimes people call me because they have a pending listing and they're like, well, it's not showing up on my list. You actually have to click here and change it to pending. Then you'll see all your pending ones. Or if you know the MLS number, you can just type the MLS number up here and it will bring it up as well. Active. So you would just click on the one-liner of it. And then you have your general information to change, price, your photos, documents, floor plan up here. Now, if you have the normal agent access level, you're not going to see this section here because you can't make status changes and you won't see price changes up here. So like I said before, if you want to be able to do that and make your listings go live right away, just have your broker or manager send us an email. And then this is where you can create an open house or tour of homes. Just click on open house. I'm not going to go all the way through because I have no idea who this listings is. And click add open house, fill it all in, and then click add open house again. So that's how you can make changes to your listings. One thing I didn't show you earlier, I'm going to go under here to preferences real quick, and then I'm going to go into contact management. If you come down here where it says products, you got Florida Realtors, Form Simplicity, and MLS Advantage. These links will take you straight into their websites, all of these. And these Form Simplicity is where the contracts, addendums, all those forms are at. MLS Advantage is where you can search. Almost every association in Florida belongs to MLS Advantage. So say you're looking for a listing over in Orlando, you can go into MLS Advantage, click on the search, pick your fields and put in your information that you want and find the listing over there. Even in Miami, if you're somebody's looking to relocate in Miami, there's only a few MLSs that do not belong to MLS Advantage. And the only one that sticks out, and like, because I took the class not too long ago, because they changed some stuff, is Gainesville is one of them that does not belong to the MLS Advantage. I don't know why, but there's a few other ones, but off the top of my head, I can't remember all of them that he said. But most, I would say the majority of the associations do belong there, so their listings do go there. There's also under daily functions is transaction. Oh, I'm under the board, so I don't have transaction desk. But you will have transaction desk under daily functions here. Basically, it is the exact same forms that MLS Advantage has. Transaction desk used to be part of not MLS Advantage, Form Simplicity. Florida Realtors, they used to pay to have them in there. Well, Florida Realtors decided to create their own because it was their own forms. So they created Form Simplicity and got rid of transaction desk. Even though they're the same forms, they want their own section for it. At that time, our members were so used to transaction desk, and this is probably going back 10 years. Nobody wanted to just automatically start using a new software for their contracts and addendums and stuff. So we kept transaction desk for those who want that, and then Form Simplicity. So depending on which one you like, they both have the same forms. They just work differently. Play around with both of them, see which one you like, and use that one. They both link to the MLS. You can automatically upload stuff to them from the listing. Maybe talk to your broker. Maybe they have a preference for what they want you to use for your office, especially since a lot of the bigger companies have created files with everything for like a listing or everything for a sale, like listing agreement, MLS, or all the forms that you need will be in that file. So you can just pull that file and use all the forms. So check with your broker on that. They might have that. The other thing I wanted to show you in here real quick that I didn't show you earlier is, where's that? Okay, I'm in my section. You can't see this. It is under preferences. Where's preferences on here? Preferences. General preferences is where you can go in here and change the font size. You can make a default, what you want your default display to be. You got your public and private version for emails, your default for which area you want, which MLS you want to search in. We actually had somebody that was getting frustrated and calling us because they couldn't figure out why they weren't finding a lot of stuff and they weren't having a lot of fields, because they had actually gone in here and marked all 4 of these to be the default. So when he pulled up to do a search, all those, he was searching all 4 of them at once. So it gave him limited criteria to search by. Showing listings to expire 7 days. You can change it here also, as well as the days the sold listings are going to show in your My Listings. You can pick and choose what you want to see under My Listings between active, pending, closed, expired. So you can do that as well. So there's all different things here that you can do. If you want the system to automatically email you an email letting you know that your listing is about to expire within so many days, you can pick your days here and check this, and it will automatically email you to the email that you have in the MLS to send that out, and you'll know when your listing is about to expire. Our data checker system does the same thing. For some reason lately, it's also been sending notices saying that your listings may expire on pending listings. If your listing's pending, it will not expire. It'll stay pending until you change it. So that's just some preferences that you can go in here and pick and choose what you want. Now I'm going to go into contact management. And what this is, you set up your contact with their information. Then you add a saved search to it, and it automatically will email that client whenever a listing shows up that matches the criteria that they're looking for. So you go to contact management. If you don't have it up here, you go up down here under contacts, contact management. If you've already been playing with this, you might see some right here. So I'm just going to create a new one. You just come over here and click on add contact. Fill in this information here. Email address goes here. Now, say it's a couple and they want the emails to go to their personal emails plus their office emails. So what you would do is just click on add, type in another email address, make sure you check notify, so it will also go to that email address as well. And you can add multiple ones if you want. Just make sure once you add it, you also click on notify, so it will also go to that email. Then down here, if you want, you can put their phone numbers in, their home address in. I did have one person give me an example of why he puts their home addresses in or their office addresses in here all the time. He basically uses it as a contact just for the MLS that he keeps in with all his customers. And he said at the end of the year, what he does to keep them to remember him, he sends out a Happy New Year card or Happy New Year flyer with his contact information on it and everything. So maybe in the future, if they're getting ready to maybe buy something new or they want to sell something or maybe refer that agent to a friend of theirs, they've got that information again, and he's keeping them himself fresh in their minds by sending this out every year, because it does create labels and you can print the labels out right from your contact management. And he does that. He said he does that every year, every December, the end of the year, and sends it to all his customers. So once you're done filling all this out, you're just going to click add contact. From here, what you're going to do is go over here, because now you're going to add your search to it. So you're going to go to searches/subscriptions. Now you want to add a search, and I'm going to show you 2 different ways of this. So this one, I'm going to add the search by clicking on add. And then I'm going to, I'll do that one. I'll do the second part last, because I'm going to show you how to create a new one here. And then I'm also going to show you how to do it where you can just use a normal, regular, safe search that you already have. So first I'm going to do this one, create new quick search. So it brings you to your screen. Style, single family. Okay, so now you're going to come up here again to save. Of course, again, you name it. Instead of hitting save down here now, you're going to hit save and add subscription. It's showing you the contact that you have, that you're linking this search to. So I'm going to hit save and add subscription. Now you come up here, it defaults to sending you a link, your contact a link, and letting you know when your contact opens the link. And this will be any listings that match the criteria for that particular property. And down here it comes to contacts is Adam. You can always add a new one. If all of a sudden that he says, okay, you know, I have a friend, can you add that too? So they get the emails as well. Or he has a wife. Okay, so then it defaults to sending it every day of the week. Most people use this one or ASAP. So say they didn't want, it's family day Sunday, so they don't want to check emails on Sunday at all, so you uncheck Sunday. They're not going to miss anything because any email that they would have gotten on Sunday, they will be added to Monday's email. And anytime during the week that a new listing or a listing that is changed that matches the criteria that they're looking for will be sent to them in a link. ASAP, if that happens, if they're really big in a hurry to buy something, anything that is added within 10 minutes, they'll get an email. Anything that a listing that's changed and that now matches their criteria, in 10 minutes, they'll get an email. I think most people use the monthly one. Agents do this for themselves. They set up a search with sold areas for like a certain area that maybe they're keeping an eye on. So they do it. So they pick the whatever day of the month that they want to receive that email. And then they can get all the sold listings in that particular area in an email, so they don't have to actually do a search. It's already set up. They just go in here and every month they'll get that on that day. So you can do monthly. But I think that's basically the way the monthly one is used. So I'm going to leave it as ASAP. Now you come down here and you type whatever you want in here. Types. Oops. There. Or whatever else you want to say, because this message here will be sent to them with every email that they get with the listings. You can save it if you want to say this is a template. You can save it so you can use that same message in the future. Just click on Save as New. Type in whatever you want to name it. Right today. So in the future, if you want to use that same message for your emails, you would just come up here, pick it, and pick whichever one you want, and then it's there. When you're done, you're just going to click Save. Now, this happens when you first set up the search with the subscription and everything for your contact. So you either want to email these listings now or choose the listings to email. Don't pick do not send listings. Otherwise, they will not get those listings until the very next day. So you want to email these listings now so you can show them that, yes, you set them up with the search with our criteria that they were looking for. And that then from now on, daily or whenever something matches, they'll get an email. So you want to either email these listings now or choose listings to email. If you click on choose listings to email, it's going to bring up the list of listings, let you pick and choose which ones you think that they might like, and then forward those listings on to them. So most people will just click on email these listings now so they get them right away. This is the only time you'll see this email. So I'm just going to use this one. So if you use my email application, hit email, it's going to take you again to your email, your own email with a link for those listings. If you use Flex, it'll come from the Flex system, or you can just go give me the link for those. But then you would just fill in, you know, whatever message you want to say to the customer and click on email. So that's one way you can set it up. The other way, if you want to use a save search that you already have, you're going to go to Contact Management, add a contact, add contact. Now, when you click on searches and subscriptions, click add. Now you're going to pick a save search. So let's just pick breakaway trails, attach search. Now it's going to bring you to this page automatically. So you still have to add the subscription because it didn't take you to that because you already used the save search. So then you're going to have to come over here and click on add subscription and then go through this process here as well. And then whenever you pick, and then click save at the bottom. If you want to double check and make sure your emails are going out to your customers, go back under contact management, go to my sent emails. Okay, these were all set manually. It tells you when they were sent, what time. The contact's name would be here. Their email address would be here. Last time they were viewed would be here. And it shows you how many times they've opened it. Like this one has been opened 10 times already. This one, most of these are like 3, 2, 1, 1. These are what people, members or something that we sent emails out to, or it could be a reciprocal listing that I did. Then you can view it and you can resend it as well. If you want to make sure your subscriptions are going out, I don't know if any of these are set up. No, they're not. Because we don't really use these subscriptions. We're just for anything. But your subscription would look the same way. It would have the contact name, the email address, how many times they viewed it, last time they viewed it. So all that information would be here. So you can double check and make sure your subscriptions are constantly going out like they're supposed to be going. Back to manual. You can also type to filter the emails in whatever way you want. You can do last 30 days, last 10 days, so you can pick and choose all these different items as well. Also, under contact management, if you click on contact summary, it will give you all the names of your contacts, if the portal's off and on, and I'll show you that in a second. Last time they were in the portal. Well, some of these are pretty old. We need to get rid of some of these. These have never been in there. If they saved any listings that were in there, if they hid any listings that were in their portal, messages, if you have a portal open, you can back and forth a message with them. If there was any manual email sent, and if they saved a search. So if they saved the save search's name is right here. That links with that contact. So that's a contact summary report. There's also on your contacts, listing activity events. Oh, okay. We don't have any of them. Subscriptions. It'll show you the subscription, the contact it has, and the search with it too. So if you click on this, you can edit the subscription if you want to, or delete it. So you can see all this information here. Go back to contact management. See if any of these have any listings in here. Let me see if I can look at these listings. This might work. Let's go here and look at this person so we can look at the activity. I'm going to click on her, click activity. I thought I saw a lot of listings in there. It's supposed to show you the activity, but for some reason, I thought Maybe because she's marked inactive. Hold on, I think that she was. Yeah, she's status is inactive now, okay. But normally there you would see all the actives, you would see all the different things under activity for the last 30 days would be in here. And if they viewed them, if they shared them with anybody, would all be here for the last 30 days. Now, to turn a portal on, you're going to click on that person. You're going to come over to portal. You're going to switch to on. Okay. Then you're going to come down here and click invite to portal. What's going to happen now is that person, that contact of yours, is going to receive this email sent to them, and it's going to show it's from you. And it has this information in here. It shows them how to log on. There's a little video here because they create their own username and password. So you'll get this so they can know how to get into the MLS. They're not actually getting into the same MLS as you. They're just getting into like a public view of it. They will only see your information. They'll never see any other listing agent's information, but they'll see the link. The link of listings that go to them will automatically show up in the portal. But they can also do some searches, not very many. They're very limited into what they can pick and choose. So they can do some searches too. And if they did save one of those searches, then you'll be able to see it under their portal as well. They can also email, send a message to you through their portal, and it will pop up saying that you have a message from that person, and you can answer them back through the portal as well. With as fast as everything is moving right now, I'm not sure a lot of people are using the portals and having their contacts or customers log in. They're just sending them the links so they can hurry up and take a look at it. They can still do it that way, even though they have the portals, but I don't know how many people are actually having their customers create a portal right now because everything's moving so fast. Okay. Okay, I'm going to contact management again. If you come up over here, you've got your groups that you can create. Under advanced, you can contact summary can be seen here. You can import and export contacts. It's not showing up on here because I in association, but you can also transfer a contact to somebody else. So say you work as a team, you're going on vacation, you want one of your team member to monitor the contacts, your contacts while you're gone, you can transfer the contacts over to them with their searches, and they can watch it for you. And then when you get back, they just transfer it back to you. So you can do that as well. You can also do a couple things here. You can create the portal here. You can show and hide. You can customize your contact list as well. So you can do all that under advanced. And if you want to print, you can print your contacts here. And this is where you would also go to do the mailing labels if you put any addresses in there. The last thing I want to show you under contact management is reverse prospecting. And if you've already set some contacts up, you may have already received one of these. So you click on reverse prospecting. The coolest time to use this, say you get a new listing, you want to get it out there to let people know, or if you've done a price reduction, or if for some reason the listing hasn't been moving fast enough for you, which isn't happening right now. But you would just go in here, type in an MLS number, your MLS number, like this, that you want to send out, click on Run Reverse Prospecting. And what it's going to do is start searching for anybody that has a contact set up with criteria that matches that particular listing of yours. So I should, let me try and get a different listing that gives you more. Let me go to hot sheet. I want to find it better once I get more members. Let me do a quick search and find a better listing. Hopefully I get bigger lists. Yeah, that's what I was hoping for. Okay, so now you've got your list of all these people who have a contact with criteria that matches that listing. So now you just by coming up here, clicking next to member, it will check all these agents off. If you want to scroll down through the list, you can. Say maybe that there's somebody in here that's in your office, they already know about the listing. So if you want to uncheck them, you could. So once you get that all done, you would just click on email selected. It pops up with this email address here. They're only going to see their name. They're not going to see anything that anybody else's email. They'll just see their email address up when they get the listing or the reverse prospecting. Since I do have some contacts set up, I do get these periodically. If, like I said, if you've already set up a criteria in a contact, you might be receiving some of these. So now you can go ahead and delete this if you want, or you can leave the default in there, put whatever you want. And there's like maybe it's a new listing. Here's my new listing. Your customer, their criteria match, or whatever you want to say to them. Like I said, I've seen it. People do it on brand new listings to get it out there. I've seen it on open houses. People send them out. Price reductions, whatever you want to, and just send it out. The main thing that you do not want to get rid of is that where it says agent matching contacts, because what that does is when that agent gets your email, it's going to show them which contact of theirs matches that listing. So they don't have to try and figure out, okay, I've got 30 customers, which one matches this listing? So it tells them automatically. And then you don't want to get rid of this link here, because this link here, they click on it, it takes them directly to the listing. So that's a good way to get your listings out there, known to other members right away. Like I said, people do it for brand new listings, price changes, open houses. I've seen all kinds of things that these being sent down on. So that's a really cool feature that you can use. And like I said, it's under reverse prospecting. You just pick your MLS number and then fill in whatever you want here, scroll down and hit send, and it will send it out to all those people on the list. Okay. So basically that is it for the basic class. Like I said, keep your eyes out on some more advanced classes. Hopefully we'll get some scheduled. And then keep your eyes out for when we're going to do Flex Camp. It's not probably going to be until October. And I'm still waiting on to see if we're going to be doing it in person or virtually. I can tell you my classes have been having over 60 people lately. So I know the board of directors will not let me do my classes in person. So for the next, I don't know how many months, I'm probably still going to be doing them through Zoom. If there's something you missed, I mean, it's up to you. I've had some people in the past want to retake it as a refresher down the road or something. You're more than welcome to do it. Like I said, you can give me a call, email me if you need help with anything on the MLS. I can help you. I can walk through it with you. I will email you the link for the video for Flow Plan, which will also have my email address and my phone number on there. So you can get a hold of me if you need to. Got out a little early because sometimes it goes right to 12. Usually I would go between 2.5 to 3 hours. So I want to thank you for attending the class. Again, my name is Karen Nelson. I'm the MLS coordinator here at the association. Have a wonderful afternoon and enjoy the rest of your day.